So Vanessa Bryant is suing LA County. Los Angeles County is demanding that a judge orders Vanessa Bryant and others to undergo a psychiatric evaluation before a lawsuit they filed against the county officials goes to trial. NBA legend Kobe Bryant and his daughter and 7 other people lost their lives in a tragic crash in January of 2020. Photos of the victims' dead bodies at the site of the crash were allegedly shared with the bartender, along with being shared online. Those photos were allegedly taken by first responders. Families of the victim, along with Vanessa Bryant, filed a lawsuit against the county in September of 2020. Among their claims are violation of their civil rights, invasion of privacy, and severe emotional distress. The families are requesting undisclosed amounts for the damages. A federal motion was filed by LA's county attorneys demanding that all plaintiffs should undergo psychiatric examination. The purpose of the evaluations is to test the state of their claims of suffering from severe emotional distress. Attorneys for the county of LA stated that compelling the plaintiffs to undergo a doctor's evaluation is necessary to evaluate the existence, extent, and nature of plaintiffs' alleged emotional injuries. A central tenet of the county's defense is that the plaintiffs' severe emotional and mental injuries were not caused by any conduct of the defendants, but rather the tragic helicopter crash and resulting deaths of their loved ones. The county's attorneys went on to say, the plaintiffs cannot be suffering from distress from the accident site photos that they have never saw or were never publicly disseminated. Attorneys for the families are arguing against the involuntary test and want to find a way that evaluates their emotional stress by methods that are less intrusive. The next court hearing over this request is scheduled for November 5th. The trial over the lawsuit is expected to begin in February. That's rough, man. That's real rough because as a first responder, you have a duty to uphold the law. You have a duty to go above and beyond, to be professional in a time where everybody else is not. You have the duty to be calm when everybody else is not. You are considered a step above. And although I never wanted to see the pictures of the crash, I didn't want to see it. I know people who did see the pictures and went online and saw them, and I didn't hear good things. You can only imagine that it wasn't good things. But this is clear and cut, man. I believe that you can suffer emotional distress if this stuff is online. I mean, the case is already big, so you're already going to hear about it. Even though we have to be fair and you have to do things in order and by law, I believe just knowing that stuff online, yeah, it could cause emotional distress. I think it could. And just knowing the fact that, when all of this first happened, a lot of people, I don't think a lot of his family knew that he had been in a crash yet. And these people hearing this stuff on TMZ and finding out on TV. TMZ should be getting sued too if that was the case. But I'm looking at this thing like, I believe that they showed those pictures. I do believe it. Now, who they showed it to, I don't know. I don't have no proof. That's just my thoughts. But this is a rough thing. And it's still carrying on. I mean, this is always going to be a big thing in history. It's always going to be a big issue. And it's always going to be tragic, no matter how you look at it. But I feel like the county might drag this one out. I feel like the county on going to use that money and stretch this case out. I don't know how much they're going to stretch it out, but I think they're going to do everything they can to get away with not paying. And if they don't do that, I believe they're going to settle. But I don't think that you would ever hear the case being fought that they were not wrong. Because you do hear that they said that the plaintiffs couldn't suffer from emotional distress by pictures that were never put online or that were never given to the public. I don't know how, but my daughter saw the pictures. She saw them. And we're nowhere near California. So I don't know how they can even say that the plaintiffs didn't see them. And then to try to force them to do a psychological evaluation. Look how many fans are distraught. I can only imagine that these people are distraught. So how can you even prove that? That's my question. I don't know. I don't know what their fight is. I don't know what their case is. And why would you? Of course something is not right up here. I'm sure Vanessa Bryant and her children are never going to be the same. Even the other families, never going to be the same. So how can you evaluate that? That's my question. Like, what are you looking for? What is your fight to figure out if it's coming from those pictures? I don't know. I don't know how they're going to prove this, but I really would like to know what their fight would be. But overall, when I first heard this, man, I was like, this is crazy. They're trying to make these people take a psychological evaluation so that they can see if their emotional distress is caused by the pictures. I want to give props up because you've been hearing Vanessa Bryant been going to war for Kobe and her daughter. And the amount of emotional distress she faced, who knows? Who knows? But I look at LA County kind of shady on this one. I understand they gotta prove their case, and well, I guess in this case, LA County are the defendants, and the plaintiffs got to prove the case. So I hope they got some good lawyers, because I do believe that the county gonna have some money to fight and drag this thing out as long as they can. You know, you get caught up in those legal fees, you could be in court for a long time. But man, I think that she will spend the rest of her life fighting the fight against everything that comes up against Kobe. And I think this is gonna be her battles, the fight, you know. But I ain't mad at her for standing up, but I don't see how a psychological evaluation, how they're gonna pinpoint that. That's what I don't understand. Maybe some of y'all know and y'all could tell me, but I don't see how that's gonna be justifiable and how they will order that judge to do that, to try to pinpoint that. I don't know. I'm not into all of that. I don't know. That's a question from me to you. If you know, let me know how you know. But overall, I think this is weird, you know, that they are trying to force them to take a test. And then they're going to put this test on children too. You know, so I don't know what they're getting at. I don't know what angle this is going to come from, and I don't know how it's going to turn out, man. But we'll see, I guess. You know, and my prayers to all the victims and the victims' families, man, because still to today, this thing is still tragic. And it most likely forever will be. So let me know what you think. Drop it in the comment section. Peace.